I often get asked about how I film some of my content in my videos. So today's the day that I'm actually going to show you the process that I use to film my content. So let's go. What's going on, everybody? This is Ryan and this is Little King Creations, where we talk about tech, filmmaking and editing. And if this is the first time that you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell for any future content. So my biggest goal this year is to show you the techniques and tricks that I've learned when shooting content. If you haven't seen any of my content, be sure to check out my Instagram page. I'll link it below, where you can see some of the videos that I've shot over the last couple of months. And be sure to stay till the end of the video for a challenge that I have specifically for you. So let's get into it. So some of the biggest problems that I hear people have when actually trying to film content is, I don't know what to film. My environment's actually just not that interesting and I don't know what to show. I'm here to tell you now, that's not true. You can make anything as interesting as you want if you just had a flow to work with. So to show you what I actually do, I'm gonna wash my dog today and I'm gonna film it at the same time. Let me just get a dog quickly. This is Bolt, and he's also a bit camera shy, but let's get into the filming. So even before I get into shooting any of my content, there are a couple of things that I take into account before actually filming. So one of those things are, what platform am I actually filming for? So a lot of the content that I post is specific to Instagram or WhatsApp. So I would film in not a landscape but a portrait format. So you need to be very particular about which format you are filming for, so that it makes for better viewing. Secondly, you need to decide on what frame rate you actually want to shoot in. So I generally shoot in 60 frames per second because I use a lot of slow motion. If you're shooting in 24 frames per second, that gives you a very cinematic look, but when you slow it down it gets very choppy. So I can go into a bunch of detail around frame rates. Most smartphone cameras shoot an average of 30 frames per second, if I'm not mistaken. So if you were to slow that down, it gets to a point where the detail just becomes super choppy and it doesn't then look as smooth as you want it to be. So shooting at a higher frame rate then helps you, anything that you're slowing down then just becomes super smooth. So decide on what frame rate you want it to shoot, obviously specific to what you're trying to show. The final two sort of go hand in hand, that being know the flow of your shots and in-camera transitions. So I tend to use a lot of in-camera transitions as opposed to using transitions that come with the software, which I think is really nice. But in order to do that, you need to know what the flow of your shots are going to be. So the next couple of pieces, I'm going to show you what the flow of my content looks like and how I use in-camera transitions. So let's go do that. So for this first shot, I basically want to show me setting up washing the dog, and part of that process is the bucket and getting the bucket and filling it with water. So I've already planned in my mind that I want the shot to go into the bucket and come out of the bucket again. So that'll be shot one. So I'm filming at 60 frames per second, which I wanted to slow down later, and I'm filming at 0.5 zoom on my iPhone, and that's basically going to give me a wide field of view. So all these things I'll explain in a later tutorial, but I just want you to catch the gist of what I'm doing. So this is what it will look like. So that's shot number one. Let's go do number two. So now that we've got shot number one, I know exactly what needs to happen with shot number two. So one important thing that to remember about in-camera transitions is that you have to remember where you've ended up with the last shot. So the end of shot one was inside the bucket. I know that I want the second shot to come out of the bucket again, and then transition into another in-camera transition. So this is what it will look like as I'm doing it. Let's record. And off to shot number 3. So after all of that, things just went a little bit haywire. So I'm going to walk you through some of the shots that I did and some of the transitions that I still did during the course of the video and how we got to the end result. So let's have a look. So as you can see, we went from shot number 2 transitioning into shot number 3. So I know that I want to go from shot number 2 into shot number 3. But because the bucket is green, I got to make sure that the next scene that I go into, there should be something green flowing from the bottom of that bucket into the next scene, if that makes sense. So what you'll see here is flowing from there into something green into the next scene, and the scene from the bucket into the dishwashing liquid. So don't judge me because I wash my dog with dishwashing liquid. Another discussion for another day. But what you can see is the bucket flowing, the green bucket into the green bottle, even though they're different greens, and then transitioning into the next scene of me throwing it onto Bolt. And then at the end of that scene, to transition it into the next part, you'll see the camera whip towards the left. So let me just play it back for you here. Bottle, and the camera will whip to the left. That scene then goes into the following cut of whipping back into the girls washing Bolt again. So within camera transitions, it's important that the motion follows right through. So if the camera is whipping to the left, you make sure that the start of your next scene is whipping from the right again into the next scene, which is in focus. So let me just take you through it again. Whips left into the next scene, coming from the right and whipping into the scene, and then another scene going. So I'm zooming into Bolt's face so that it's black, and then what I wanted to get was just transitioning to the end of that scene for us, or transitioning into the end of that scene, making sure that we're getting what's happening next, which is us just cleaning him off. So camera goes in towards him, blacks out, and comes out from black scene again with the towel coming off, and then showing him being clean. The next couple of scenes are just a few cut scenes, just so that there's no overkill with the in-camera transitions, so that it just makes the scene flow a little bit better. The emotion that I wanted to give was just how he's feeling, what he's going through as a dog, and ultimately ending with him in the kennel, how he's feeling at the end of it. Camera shy, doesn't like the feeling of being washed, those sort of things. So that's in-camera transition. Hope you love it. So that's the process that I use in order to film some of my content. That's not everything, but that's a large percentage of the process that I follow. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now I want to leave a challenge with you. Film a 30 to 60 second video of you using these techniques, and it can be a film of anything. So you washing the car, washing the dishes, doing whatever you want it to be. Upload it to Instagram and use the hashtag LittleKingCreations and tag myself at Ryan_Ruza, and I may feature your video in my next YouTube upload next week. So let's see what you got. Hope you enjoyed this week's video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see any future content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.